Now this
All right,
one we
now we're
have a
watching
kind
this.
of economic one, and this one comes out of Los Angeles, and
Okay, now this video is much longer, and I suspect it's going to be much more dense, okay? But just to preface it, this video is called Los Angeles Democrats Destroy Hotel Industry. Okay, it's going to be about, like, minimum wage, is what I suspect. Oh, yeah, wait, yeah, my bad. My bad. I'm not suspecting it, okay? This is about, like, raising minimum wage, and, oh, it destroyed the hotel industry. Oh, my God, it just destroyed the hotel industry. Like, yeah. Yeah, that's what destroyed the hotel industry, I'm sure. Not, deporting a ton of people that work in hotels. I'm sure that it's actually, like, something else, actually. Anyway, this is by
I'm
Leaflit.
not
They are
exactly from Los
leaving the
Angeles, but I'm from the area.
consequences of
I did live
minimum wage.
in the LA area for a while, so I would like to see what they have to say here. This was by actual Justice Warrior. All right, let's check it out.
A very controversial vote at LA City Hall today. The city council approved a massive raise in the
Leaflit
minimum
lives
wage for
in,
many hotel and airport
Compton,
workers in the run-up to the Olympics. Hotel owners call the move a disaster
Leaflit
and are
lives in
threatening to rip
Oaktown.
up the contracts they
what?
signed to host the world during the Summer Games.
Tonight we're hearing from the president for Los Angeles Hotel Group, who says they've decided not to move forward with a $250 million hotel expansion. This after the LA City Council voted to increase the minimum wage for hotel and airport workers to $30 an hour just in time for the 2028 Olympics.
You know what?
Did they say $30 minimum wage? Yo, how much is one of those Elon robots, man? How much are one of those Elon robots? Dude, you don't even have to give it benefits, dude, honestly. Dude, time to get some Roombas, right, guys? Like a ton of Roombas. Yeah, get a fuck ton of Roombas, man. Dude, that's crazy. You know what this is gonna do when you make the minimum wage $30? You know, like those, like, kiosks in McDonald's? That, like, they do the order for you, and it's like a fucking screen, and you have to touch it, and it's dirty as fuck? Yeah. That's gonna be everything. It's gonna be literally everything at this point. Like, you're gonna walk up to a kiosk, and then it's gonna be like, hello, welcome to the hotel, and then you're gonna, like, put in your information, it's gonna shit out a key. Your room is on the second floor, number 21, like that. And then you're gonna,
Oh, no.
you're gonna, like, take your key from there, and there's not even gonna be someone at the front desk. And then, like, you know, the little area where they sell, like, snacks and stuff?
I don't care. This is the reality that we are moving towards, okay? We're automating jobs. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Why do you need to have somebody working behind the counter? I don't know. I don't really care. Okay, as a consumer, I don't care. Yeah, that is a job that a person could have. Okay, they could, like, be getting really fulfilled by their stand behind the front desk job at the hotel. Okay, but, like, I don't know. I don't really think anybody's missing that. But yeah, I mean, we are moving towards a more, like, a society where all like service industry jobs are automated. Maybe we should, like, because jobs are going to be automated, maybe we should, like, provide our citizens with social safety nets and welfare programs. No, that's communism. That's communism. Hey, maybe we should, like, if you want people to work, maybe we should, like, raise the minimum wage so that they can actually afford to live where they live at, near their job. No, we can't do that. There's not enough money. Like, keep in mind, we're talking about businesses that are recording record profits. Okay, year over year. Companies are recording record profits. CEOs are buying new yachts, new mansions. That's what's happening. And anyway, what this person is going to say when talking about raising the minimum wage is, first she's gonna, say this bullshit about the kiosk or whatever. Like, that's kind of a nothing burger. But the real, like, argument of substance that she's going to make is that this is going to hurt small businesses. It's going to make small businesses go out of business. And small businesses are struggling. And I'm speaking generally here, not all of them are struggling, but many small businesses are. And it would be, in the current state of affairs, it would be impossible for them to pay their employees more. Okay, that's why I think there is a solution to this. Subsidize the small business. Okay, tax the corporations, the big conglomerates, and give subsidies to small businesses so that they can afford to pay their employees more. Okay, look, no matter what, it is unacceptable that motherfuckers be working full time in this country. They're working 40 hours a week and they can't afford basic things. They can't afford to pay their bills on time and buy groceries, pay for gas. It's disgusting. And you're over here like, oh yeah, we can't pay. We just can't pay them more. We just can't do that. You're fucking dumb bootlicker, and all you do is your job is to sit behind a screen all day. You privileged motherfucker. You have a dream job. You have a job that people would literally murder over, and you're over here like, oh yeah, we can't raise the minimum wage. You fucking piece of shit.
Vending machines. That's all it's gonna be. Because why the fuck would you pay someone for $30 an hour for like menial work? What the hell is this?
One of the most difficult things about my job is
For
actually
menial
making
work,
fun
why
of
would you
the
pay
left.
them
And you guys
$30
might think,
an
well,
hour?
Sean, that's incredibly easy.
Why would I
You just mock
stomp
them
on your
endlessly
head
because
until
they are
it
such a rich
blows
target
up like
and
a
have bunch of
fucking
stupid-ass
watermelon?
policies that
Your
always fail, and they
my
always use the
boot
same
is covered
dumb
in your
reasoning for it. But the
brains.
thing is, it's actually incredibly difficult to parody people who will take your parody, think it's
I
a
don't
good
know.
policy, and then try to implement it, because that's exactly what happened in the city of Los Angeles. You guys will remember a couple of years ago, there was this fight for $15 minimum wage, and one of the jokes that a lot of people on the right...
Guys, you want to know what I feel right now, like, so hard? So, like, again, I used to think that just, you know, all it would take is a little bit of reason. If I can talk to them in a calm, reasonable manner, tell them the facts, tell them, like, how I feel, then eventually we'll come to a consensus. But this is the actual truth right here, okay? This is the truth of reality. I have learned this, guys. I have ascended, and I've realized that this is the absolute truth of everything.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.
Unironically, the wisest words I've heard in a long time. True. So true. Man.
Yeah, it's funny that she would play that clip. And that's because, I don't know much about this guy. But I do know that he would say that you're one of the R words, okay? You're one of the dumbasses, okay? Of course he would fucking say that. This is Rajneesh. Sorry, I'm probably saying his name wrong. Rajneesh, Chandra Mohan, Jain. Also known as Akarya Rajneesh, Bhagwan Shri Rajneesh, and later Osho. Osho is what he goes by, I think, primarily. Yeah, anyway, he is, my understanding is that he's, like, kind of woke. He's, like, a woked up, you know, of course he's dead now, but he was, like, a spiritual teacher, and, anyway, it don't matter. It doesn't matter. Let's just keep going.
Who are opposed to this because it's economically stupid would bring up is, why is $15 your mark? That sounds really cheap. Why not $20? Why not $30? Hell, if we're making other people spend money and the minimum wage has no negative consequences at all whatsoever, why don't you set it at $100?
I feel like I'm being so negative right now. I feel like I'm just ultra doomer right now. Like, I'm just, like, tired, and I'm just tired and salty.
Yeah, why?
It's awful.
Well,
why? You won. You won. Why the fuck are you mad? I thought that the country was like, it's all good now. It's all perfect. Like Donald Trump is making the country great again. Why aren't you happy? Why are you salty? He's getting everything he wants. You got everything you want. He's elected. He can do whatever he wants. He's God, King, Emperor. The Supreme Court can't stop him. The lower courts can't stop him. Nobody can stop him. Congress can't stop him. They won't stop him. They could. They could stop him, but they won't. What's the problem? Why are you upset? You should be like you should be smiling ear to ear 24/7. The country is awesome. This is what you wanted.
of Los Angeles didn't quite get to that number, but they actually recently passed an ordinance that said for hotel workers and for airline employees, their minimum wage by 2028 shall be $30 an hour. And for those of you who are unaware, if that were full-time over the course of a year, that is $60,000, meaning that the Los Angeles City Council, in their infinite wisdom, decided to criminalize full-time employment at hotels and at the airport that pays $58,000, $59,000. That's a crime. That's absolutely
$60,000 minimum wage job.
No, no, how dare they? How dare they? No, dude, you're telling me they made it so that you have to pay your employees $60,000 a year in the most expensive place to live in the fucking country? Or at one of the most? Probably like number 2. No, it's got to be like number 1 or number 2. No, no, how dare they? How dare they do that? No.
Hold on, chat.
That's
Hold
too
on.
much.
Hold
That's
on.
too much.
I stream 5 days a week for about 6 hours times 4, and then I work on the game about.
I like it how he said they criminalized paying your employee $58,000 a year. They're gonna criminalize it. Hotel workers. Okay. Yeah, and it's not like they were gonna pay them that anyway. You fucking dumbass. They were never gonna pay them $58,000 a year. So why the fuck does it matter that they made it illegal? They weren't gonna do that shit anyway. Now they say you have to pay them $60K a year. That's what you have to do. They were never gonna pay them $58,000 a year, man. You're fucking delusional.
6 hours.
You're schizo.
Times 4. Oh, bro, I make less than that. That's fucked up. Wait, are you telling me I make less? Hold up. I make less than Los Angeles minimum wage right now? That's fucked up, bro. That's so fucked up.
Yeah, dude, you sit behind a computer and commentate. Okay, commentate. I use that word very loosely here. Okay, you just spew bullshit, vile hatred. That's it. That's what you fucking do for a living. What the fuck? The hotel worker is working infinitely harder than you. Yeah, they deserve to make more than you. You fucking piece of shit.
horrible. $60K, that is the appropriate amount that you need to pay. Otherwise, you shouldn't even have that job. And of course, there's
No, don't feel bad for me. I have everything I could possibly want. I have everything.
Nobody feels bad for you. Nobody fucking feels bad for you.
I'm good.
predictable blowback to this. Projects that
yeah,
were
we
once
know.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm like, I want some new One Piece cards, and it's like this. Reenactment. I really want the new One Piece cards. Can I have them, boss, please? Please. Yes, you can have the new One Piece pack. You just have to open it on stream. Oh, thank you so much. I really can I get like 2 starter decks of like can I get 2 starter decks of Yamato, like green, yellow, Yamato? Can I please, boss, please? Yes, you can. Whatever you want, as long as you stream it. That's how it is, basically. Yeah.
Going to go ahead have been pulled back upon, and the city council is absolutely flummoxed with this idea because they just think it's important that we pay
Yeah, the joke is that I'm the boss.
people a living wage. And honestly, according to many of them, if you really think about it, $30 an hour isn't even all
So
the way there.
funny.
That's a compromise.
Oh man, you'd be really good for the stream, because like Uma Musume game right now is like so good. Like, man, Uma Musume game is like, everyone loves it. It's really popular right now. But you know what? Like, if I'm gonna play it, like, I need to have like really good cards, right? So I can like, I can be like, I can have a lot of knowledge about the game. I can like win a lot of runs. I need to have like good horses, right? Right? I need really good horses, right? Like, how am I gonna stream it if I don't have good horses? So like, I need to get that pack, right? Right? Don't I? Yes, you do need it.
Between the dumber part of their brain and the dumb part of their brain. So nobody should be angry about this. Nobody should raise prices. No projects should not go ahead. And of course, absolutely under no circumstances should people lose their jobs, even though we're already seeing that happen as a response to this dumbass wage increase. And that's what we're going to talk about today. The city of Los Angeles is somehow spoiling the hotel revenue that they were going to get from...
Yeah, I don't know,
they
so, like,
increased
I always spend my money on
wages.
food.
No, that was not the answer. No, we need...
Any entertainment stuff is, like,
No, what we should have done was tax cuts for the rich. They should have done tax cuts for the rich. Of course, that's what they should have done.
The Summer Olympics.
Why didn't
I
they
just want
do
to make it
that
clear I'm not really
instead?
I'm memeing, basically.
I don't know, man.
I'm memeing.
By passing this ridiculous ordinance. But before we do, as someone who doesn't get a minimum wage, as someone who is entirely dependent on you guys out there in the audience, I want to thank my supporters over at actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me the money.
Money,
give me the money,
please.
okay?
Yeah, so I mean, workers obviously really excited about this victory, but the
Money,
tourism board here in LA
please.
warning of dire consequences because of this. So we'll see how.
Am I a full-time streamer as a Guerrilla Warrior on Kick? Yes. I'm a streamer and game designer. Although, like, lately I've been kind of neglecting my game design work because I've been dealing with other stuff, but yes.
Plays out, but city council members and union leaders say these raises are
I
still
would love
barely
to
enough for a
see
living
your
wage in LA.
shitty
But
game.
as I was just mentioning, tourism officials and hotel executives say the increases are going to lead to big cuts in staff,
Probably
investments.
garbage.
Here's what's gonna happen. All right, you're gonna increase
No,
the minimum
it's
wage.
definitely garbage.
So you increase the minimum wage at the supermarket. Now the supermarket either has to fire everybody, and now you have a lot of people out of work who then become a tax burden for everybody else, and then they increase the taxes. Or you increase the minimum wage, and then the store is like, well, okay, you know, the apple that used to be $1, now it's $2 because I need to pay this $30 minimum wage for these people, right? And then those people, they get their paychecks and like, oh shit, the apples are $2 now. But I thought I got a raise. Yeah, well, you know, you did get a raise, but everything's more expensive now. Like, can these people think for like 2 seconds? Like, please, like, this isn't even like that hard. This is
Yeah, that's not how that works. That is just demonstrably false. The increase in minimum wage it never, what follows is never the cost of goods rising. Okay? Well, okay, the cost of goods do rise. The cost of goods are always rising. Okay, they are always rising. And what I mean by that, when I say the cost of goods don't rise with a raise in the minimum wage, is that they don't, the cost of living doesn't rise at a higher rate after you raise the minimum wage. It keeps rising at the same, that it is unaffected by minimum wage. It is. It just is. Okay, it is completely unaffected by minimum wage. And that's because it doesn't fucking matter. Okay, like they set their prices. They set their prices at whatever people are willing to pay. It's not dependent on their overhead or what they're paying their employees. Capitalists sell things at the highest price that people will buy them at. That's it. That's what they do. Okay, their overhead, they're paying their employees, has nothing to do with that. It obviously, fucking obviously, it has nothing to do with that.
basic. Like, if you think about it, it like logically connects. What are we talking about?
New projects and
yeah, I mean, it makes sense when you just like say it and you take every fact and like everything for granted. Okay, if you just like turn your brain off and you're like, well, I guess that, yeah, raising minimum wage, that must mean that things get more expensive. That must be what that means. Like, no, man, use facts, use statistics. If you're going to make a claim like that, you should support it with evidence. Except that the evidence doesn't support you. It just doesn't. Because there is no evidence that says raising the minimum wage directly makes the cost of living increase at a higher rate than it already was. Okay? The cost of living has been increasing, and it hasn't slowed down. It hasn't sped up that much. It's just been steadily going. And meanwhile, wages have completely been dead in the water. They have completely stagnated. Completely. In almost every single state. In almost every fucking state. That's why Americans are broke as fuck right now. Anyway.
The Olympics.
So, of course, the local news reporter talks about this as if it is a big victory for workers, and then he talks about those hotel companies that are warning of...
Yup, and then they increased the minimum wage to $40, and increased it to $50, and then...
Yeah, and it's just runaway minimum wage. Yep. It's just
dire
snowball
consequences, and I wanna make something
snowball
100%
minimum
clear,
wage.
as will be presented
Fucking
throughout the course of
dumbass.
this video and this
Fucking
local news
piece of
segment.
shit.
Yup, true.
sit
And then they
behind your
hire
computer.
illegals, Delta That's right. Because you don't have to pay them the minimum wage because it's already illegal to hire them. So you might as well pay them under the table. So I must have stopped punishing people.
I'm sorry for like getting mad. Like, I shouldn't be getting mad. I shouldn't. I know that they're just idiots, okay? They're just dumbasses. But it makes me so mad when these content creators talk about this, particularly minimum wage and like low skill work, when their job is low skill. Look, I do the same thing that they do, so I know this. And it's obvious. You don't need to do it to know this. Okay, you don't need to be a content creator to know that content creation is a lot fucking easier than the average service job, and certainly the average blue collar job, okay? And it pays significantly better. if you're a successful content creator, if you're a very successful content creator like Leaflit, then yeah, she is currently making a lot more than like the minimum wage workers in her area. Okay, maybe not for a lot longer. Maybe they will raise the minimum wage and like they'll
places that give money through work and start going after sources of why people need more money in the first place. Yeah, you mean like all of the government overspending? Yes, exactly. These people spending all of our fucking money on bullshit, making freaking experiments for like bullshit. I don't know, crayfish fucking in an incinerator. Like I don't know, like these people. Taxes are the worst, guys. Taxes are evil. These people are.
It's not just the hotel companies that are warning about this, and in reality, this is obvious because every single study on minimum wage has showed the same.
Oh, but we need to send money like to this country because something happened. No, we don't. No, we don't. Oh yeah, but like this thing happened in this country, and like they have a okay.
Same thing. In fact, the only
okay. I mean, there's people in our streets too. What about that? It's crazy, right? Like, yeah.
Time that you see an instance where minimum wage increase, which by its very nature criminalizes certain forms of employment, does not result in people losing their jobs, is when they are able to effectively pass on the cost to consumers.
If there's another country.
And that's why we shouldn't raise the minimum wage. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? What the fuck are you going on about? We shouldn't raise the minimum wage because we be sending money to other countries and that's bad? And that's why people are poor? But that's why we shouldn't raise the minimum wage? Are you fucking stupid? How fucking dumb are you?
Okay, let's just make up a country. Let's just say, I don't know, Dressrosa.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Has no money, and they need help. Well, that's not the government's problem. Unless they can tell us specifically how that's going to benefit Americans, why the fuck do we care? Not even in a bad way. I'm not saying people individually shouldn't do it. I think they should. I think if, like, you're an individual person, and you're saying, I got a lot of money today. I'm doing pretty well this week, or this month. And I feel like, I can help out someone in the world. And then they give money to Dressrosa. Fine. Who cares? That's good. That's a good thing. I think that's a moral and a good thing. But saying, like, we're going to take it from you and then on your behalf give it to people? Get the fuck out of here.
However, in this particular case, it's not just the $30 minimum wage. It is also the added healthcare requirements that add about an extra $7 and some change per hour to these employees in order to work there. And the obvious consequences of this is that...
Is $37 minimum wage effective? Oh my god, bro. Hello, I am here, Leaflet bot 200, where I am ready to work for nothing.
For those who remain, they will, of course, receive more money, but in reality, there are going to be fewer employees, prices are going to go up, people are going to opt for services like Airbnb, and as we are going to find out, planned projects...
They don't understand that this is going to collapse everything. It's like...
seem like they were an absolute lock that already received approval are no longer going to go to head as a consequence of this because now they're not economically viable. Again, all because some absolute...
Yeah, that's what they want is robot slavery.
Folks in the city of Los Angeles decided that $59,000 for full-time for a full year, that's oppressive. We need to make that illegal by 2028 because in reality, it's not really enough. In reality, that's not enough for a living wage in Los Angeles. If you can't run a hotel over...
The living wage in Los Angeles is crazy because they tax the fuck out of you. They tax the fuck out of you and they waste a ton of money. That's why.
60 rooms and pay your employees the equivalent of 37 and change per...
That's a goddamn lie. And it's a lie because, yeah, California does have pretty high taxes. Okay, but damn, you look radiant, shining brighter than bra. You're like a breath of fresh air, like a moth to a flame. Burn by the fire, keep your head up, and keep up this wonderful grind. And it is a lie. Yeah, I appreciate that. That is a long-winded comment, a very nice one. I kind of disagree. I think like I'm looking at myself now and wait, hold on, my beard's a little lopsided. I need to like trim it. It grows like, it's so weird. Like it one side grows, this side grows faster than this side. So like, and also this side has like more hair around like right here, around like where my finger is. So it just ends up like looking super fucking lopsided, and I have to fix it. Not gonna lie, the facial hair makes you look a little Hungarian. Wait, what do Hungarians even look like? I don't know. What does like the average Hungarian look like? I don't know, man.
Hour,
I don't
then
know.
you know what? You just have to
Anyway.
go out of business, and we're willing to accept
Anyway,
those consequences.
fucking California pays more in taxes to the federal government. They are what's known as a donor state. Okay, meaning that they are giving money to our government more than what they are getting from our government, the federal government. Okay, how do they do this? They are the fourth largest economy on the planet. That's how.
Consequences, even though they're
Think about it this way. If you live in Los Angeles, right? If you live in Los Angeles and you make, I don't know, let's just say you make like $100 a day. Like, a lot of that, they take it from you. And they give it to people that they think need it more. That's crazy.
absolutely dire and
Man.
devastating. And of course, these people will blame everything else but the law that they
Hell,
passed.
just dead
when
dreams and
those
drugs.
consequences.
It kind of is, Wob. Like, okay, so here's one thing. It's like you see like pictures of LA and you're like, man, this place looks like it's fucking blown up, right? It looks terrible. And then you'll hear a lot of people saying, oh, it's not really like that. No, it really is. I've been there. I remember, like I was driving with my dad and my dad was like, holy fuck, this is real. I was like, yeah. I filmed it at one point because it was so crazy.
Emerge. And by the way, that $37 number
I'm
is
doing wonderful.
It's worse than you can
when this
imagine.
fully kicks in, plus
you
the
for
added
asking,
cost per
Chad.
hour for the healthcare benefits for those of you
Thank
who
you
are
for asking,
confused.
Donut. How are you doing?
For years, LA airport and hotel union workers have been demanding big raises.
Thank you,
Friday, they scored a
thank you,
major victory.
anonymous
The LA
chatter.
City
You want to know how to get a
For
raise?
this
You want to
photo
know
of a
you wanna know
Hungarian
a
man.
trick? You want to know a pro tip? You
Okay.
you make yourself really valuable to the company.
Yeah,
and then
that
you tell
does
them,
look
hey, I want
like
a
me.
raise.
That looks exactly
You
like
should make me
me.
a manager because I'm really good. Or you get another job.
Council gave final approval for massive.
Fits for those of you who are
Interesting.
confused.
For years, LA airport and hotel union workers have been demanding big raises. Friday, they scored a major victory. The LA City Council.
You want to know how to get a raise? You want to know good? You want to know a trick? You want to know a pro tip? You make yourself really valuable to the company, and then you tell them like, hey, I want a raise.
You sound like such a boomer, dude. You just need to walk up to your boss and say, "Oh, hey, boss, I'm a valuable worker, and I demand a raise."
should make me a manager 'cause I'm really
That's
good.
what you got to do.
Or you get another job.
Council gave final approval.
You just need to get another job. If they won't give you a raise at that company, you just need to get yourself another job.
The funny thing, this is the hilarious thing. You want to know the funniest
You'll
thing?
be
This is
better
the most
once
ironic thing
Monday
about this, by
hits
the way.
than my
Is
two-day
if you're
weekend
not good enough
begins.
to get a raise on your own,
Nice.
these are the exact people that are going to lose their jobs to
Nice.
robots. They're the first people that are going to get roboted out. All of these people, like all of like the most menial labor, instantly roboted out.
Yeah, no, I think your job is actually a lot more likely to get roboted out. I think our like content creation, the content creation thing we got going on here, it appears to be being automated even faster than any other job. Any other job, anyway, it's hard to say. It's hard to say like which jobs will get replaced when and how fast. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about the content creation thing, but I certainly don't think that like service workers like this, like hotel workers and stuff, will get replaced by robots before you, Leaflit. Before you're gonna be living
So it's like
in a
all of this
fucking
shit, they're
cardboard
effectively
box
campaigning for the loss of their own jobs.
so
which is the
fast
irony of
your
this whole
head
thing.
will spin.
It's like it's comedy. It really is because they're campaigning to lose their own jobs because that's the effect of what they're doing. Is that
No, they are advocating they are trying to get living wages. That's what they're doing. They're not trying to get roboted out or whatever the fuck. They are trying to be paid adequately. They're trying to be adequately compensated for the work that they do so that they can live comfortably and pay their bills. Like, that's all they want, bro. They just want to pay their fucking rent. They want to pay their utilities. You piece of shit.
The minimum wage.
I guarantee
sitting
you that
on
these
your
people
ass.
are the ones that lose their jobs first.
Getting paid for it.
LA
And you
airport and
look
hotel
down
workers
on
is right
people
now
like
around
that.
$20
Fuck
an
you.
hour. Starting this summer, the raises kick in. By the time the Olympics arrive,
Dude, and it's the same people. Oh my god, guys, it's the same people. The same people that want like illegal immigrants and stuff.
I think that if a person like this were saying this in real life and I saw them, I would actually like fucking spit in your face. Like if somebody said this shit to me in real life and I knew that they were a content creator and they're like, oh yeah, all these like lazy pieces of shit, they're gonna get like roboted out and like they're so greedy. They want more. They want to be paid a living wage. Like I would actually I would definitely spit in your face. I might get fucking violent with you. I don't know. I'm not a violent person. I don't condone violence, but
I'm
like,
going crazy, chat. I'm going crazy.
it makes my blood boil, dude. steam is gonna come out of my ears.
$30 an
They
hour.
make these
Oh my
VTubers
God.
because it wouldn't generate the views if they showed their real face.
Yeah, it's a 50.
I think it's also to hide their identity. It's like an ice face mask kind of situation. You know, when the dust settles and like the Great American Empire falls, you know, these people, you won't be able to trace the content that these people make back to them because you don't know what they look like. We don't know their names. And anyway, look, fine. It's fine. It's whatever. I don't really give a fuck about that anyway. But I literally think that they're like either protecting themselves or they just are ugly, which is what you were getting at here.
That's right, Tommy.
Could be, man.
All union workers pleaded their case. We need at this moment in time, especially with the showcasing of the events that are coming, that the workers who are critical.
You want to know the funny thing is though? You want to know what's like even more funny about this? You want to know what's funny? You see these people here? You see all these people here that are sitting here? It's in their best interest to say yes. Because then they don't get blamed for it. Because now they can blame, oh, the companies aren't paying enough money to like all of these people. It's not our fault. It's the company's fault. Well, then we need more money. Okay.
What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you going on about, dude? I seriously, maybe I'm dumb. I seriously do not comprehend what the fuck she was trying to say here.
Because now the companies aren't paying enough money to like all of these people. It's not our fault. It's the company's fault. Well, then we need more money. Okay. It's in their best interest to say yes. Because then they don't get blamed for it. Because now they can blame, oh, the companies aren't paying enough money to like all of these people. It's not.
But if they say yes to it and it passes, then the companies have to pay their employees more. What like what I still don't get it. I still don't understand what this person is trying to say.
You see all these people here that are sitting here?
The minimum wage in Texas is still $7.25 since 2009. That was over 15 years ago. Who in their fucking mind can live off that in this economy? Nobody can. And that's the point. They don't want you to. It's amazing how teachers are still underpaid, but cops who abuse their power, churches that brainwash idiots aren't criticized. Yeah, we live in a society. And police departments are only getting more funding. That means more cars, more guns, and of course, more cops. I give up on this world, LOL. I wouldn't give up. I think that, and people, especially white Republicans, I think that Republicans, they made their bed, and we all have to sleep in it, unfortunately. But they especially have to sleep in it, and they don't get to complain. Okay, but anyway. I don't give up on hope, because I think that, I'm a Marxist. I'm a Marxist-Leninist, okay? And this is true. I'm not even like just saying that. Marx, he hypothesized a lot. And one of the things that he thought would happen, and what I think as well, spoiler alert, he theorized that inevitably, it was inevitable. He didn't know how long it would take, but he thought that inevitably the workers around the world will unite, and we will take down the capitalists. Why would I not give up? It's 2025. It's never going to be resolved. I used to think, hey, these people are old and will wither away, except their grandchildren will just follow in their footsteps. Sorry, but there's no hope for the lower class. History disagrees with you. It just does. Look at the founding of this nation, which was the country that we live in was a big step up to the economic structure that people lived under before, okay, which was feudalism. Okay, so why should I be 50 to finally be financially satisfied? Yeah, I mean, look, man, we're not gonna see any of it. Okay, we're not going to see any of the like good, the happy times. Okay, like it's going to be our children, our grandchildren, our great grandchildren that get to experience like, you know, a world outside of capitalism. However, that doesn't mean that you should give up hope. Okay, like it's like we plant the trees and our children get to sit under the shade. That's how it works. That's how it has always worked throughout history. And people in the past, they fought hard to make life as good as it is now for the average person. And it's our turn. Okay, we have to do that too, just like they did for us. I don't get why you disagree. People are more angry about free food for schools than defund the police. They do more harm than good. Look, I'm not denying the material reality. Like, shit sucks, okay? I know shit sucks. I know it's bad. If you are going to say it's never going to get better, it's not going to get better, I disagree with you because I'm a Marxist. Okay, Marx said, and I think this is true. Again, I agree with, and if you disagree with this, I encourage you to read his work. Okay, there's a reason that he thought this. Okay, Marx said workers all over the world someday would unite. We would all stand together as workers, not as nations, not as ethnic groups, but as workers. Well, I'm an African and it won't get better. Sorry, a little joke. Okay, but I don't want to be old if that day occurs. LMAO. Well, you probably will be old. We will be old when we transition away from this economic system. And we probably won't get to, like, be happy with the new system because we're gonna be old as hell, okay? That fucking sucks. Yeah. Okay. I don't think it's a reason to be depressed. Look, motherfuckers in the 1700s, just 300 years ago, they lived under feudalism. They lived under feudalism, bro. Before liberal democracy. And then people got together and they fought hard to create a liberal economic system. Liberalism. Liberal free market. Free market capital with regulation. Okay? That's what they did. And it made life a lot better for a lot of people. Now that system has grown and matured, it has ripened, and it has become antiquated. In fact, it is it's now hurting people. Okay, we're now back to, we've come full circle. Okay, we're back at the shit sucks stage with the economic system. Like feudalism was a good alternative to the economic structures of that came before it, and liberalism was a step forward from feudalism, and now we have come to a point where we need something else. So it is depressing, dude. You literally bought me a game, which I appreciated, but the fact that I don't have funds to even buy a game is depressing. I'm not asking to have 100K a year, but 20K won't get me anywhere. You did pay me back for that though, and I don't know, it just, yeah. I am asking for 100K a year. We should all be making 100K a year. Are you fucking kidding me? With the cost of living these days, 100K a year is like, what would that be like in 1980s money? That would be like maybe 60, be like 60K. Okay, it's like a decent wage. 100K doesn't go as far as people, seem to think it. I would say 100K in pretty much everywhere in the United States, with maybe one or two exceptions, like LA. 100K a year is a living wage, a not just like a living wage, but like a comfortable living wage, where you can like pay all your utilities and your rent and have money left over. But it's just, I see why people rob banks or shoplift. No one wants to be evicted or on the streets. 100K in the South is pretty far. Hell, even 50K, yeah, I could live off that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're really pinching pennies, yeah. Yeah, you could live off of like If you pinch pennies and like have roommates, then you could live off of even less. But yeah, I mean that's very low, like quality of life. I feel like for this country's standards, anyway. If I make that type of money, then they will treat me like a fucking slave. Well, anyway.
It's in their best interest to say yes. Because then they don't get blamed for it. Because now they can... Guys, I'm going Gear 5 right now. I'm just laughing.
To this industry and to the city.
Holy
also
shit, this
receive
is
the wages that
unreal.
we need.
So look, normally I don't have
You're
any
fucking
issue with
stupid.
unions because
It's
if you
unreal
want to
how
organize your
stupid you
workforce
are.
and negotiate against your employer, and essentially the employer has to meet
really
you
hate
halfway,
these
and
people
that
you
leads to
watch,
better wages and better
LMAO.
benefits,
I hate
I'm
them
totally
too.
fine
I need some wine, guys. I need some wine.
with that private arrangement. But one of the things that bothers me about this particular
I need
scenario is
a,
that these people who work in hotels are not
I'm not gonna
negotiating
say
with the
that,
hotels.
no.
They're not forming a union and going after the employer. What they're doing is doing an end around, going to the LA City Council.
Yeah, because if they went to the employer and they tried to unionize and say, we want $30 an hour, you know what they're going to say? Get the fuck out of here.
A bunch of absolute idiots with
Yeah.
no skin in
Get
the
the fuck
game,
out.
and they're demanding a special wage for the
Yeah,
employees. that will remain.
famously,
Of course,
union demands never work when the workers unite. People actually believe this shit. People actually believe that like organizing in your workplace doesn't fucking work. It's so gross, dude. It's so fucking gross. Like, no, man. Unions, they make demands, and guess what? The capitalists often, like, concede. Quite often.
they're going to lose a lot of employees, and by the way, not just to
And
the just
it
losses
happens in
jobs,
the service
but also when
industry,
you set
too,
an
as well
artificial
as,
bar
as
this
well
high
as,
for
like,
hotels,
Yo, I gotta
trades.
invest in those Tesla robots. How do I do that? Is that the Tesla? Is that Tesla? Do I invest in Tesla stock for that? You invest in those robots, man.
Dude, those are so fucking fake. You are so dumb if you believe that those are real. Those are so fucking fake. Are you serious? Are you fucking serious? They were being controlled by humans. They were being controlled by humans. It wasn't AI. The technology isn't there. Also, those would never be more cost effective than just paying a person a living wage. Okay, these robots are going to cost like, probably six figures or more. Probably significantly more. Why wouldn't you just pay a person to do the job? Pay a person $50,000 a year, do the same fucking job.
And Roomba. I gotta get some Roomba stocks.
that is
Yeah.
going to draw in more competitors from out of the region in order to displace the current workers. So huge
Krusty Floppy Bits says Leaflet gets it. Now I know why they hate you. It's so true. So true, man.
portions of the workforce that are out here rallying, saying
Boston
that they
Dynamics.
need this minimum wage, are never going to be paid it. And that's not only because of the layoffs that will come, not only as a result of this wage, but as a result of higher prices driving people.
Don't invest either on the downturn. The competitors are gonna are all.
Wouldn't surprise me if she works at some retail store. No, man, she's a streamer. She's a full-time streamer. This person has 100,000 subscribers. She's posted this 17 hours ago and has 35,000 views. Like, she makes a decent income off of this channel, off of the streams. And like that's just with like monetization. Like, I don't even know what she gets from donors. She, like, based off of the views alone, I would estimate she makes between like $15,000-$20,000 just off of the views and the monetization. Okay, and then on top of that, she's gonna have donors. Okay, she probably has a Patreon. Yeah. So why don't you do pandering and pretend to be a conservative? I don't know. I don't want to. I think, I don't know. I have too much like pride, I think. Like, unironically, like I don't think, and I'm not saying that like it's a good thing. I don't think I could humiliate myself like that. Like, I just wouldn't want to do that. Just a VTuber, just be a VTuber and lie. Fuck that. You need money, get your money. Yo, what if I started a VTuber channel where I'm like a VTuber and then I react to the fake VTuber channel on my real channel? How do you know that's not what I'm doing right now? How do you know I'm not actually Leaflit? And sorry, like I'm using a voice changer. Hide the shame behind a VTuber. No, I don't want to do that. No.
Gonna do better, way better. All right, Bunzel, I trust you. How you doing,
I
Bunzel, by the way? How
appreciate
you
that
doing,
you
man?
care about me,
Alternatives
though,
like
and my
Airbnb,
money.
but it will also be
Can you like feel it, Bunzel? Like
want
you've
me
known
to
me
get
for a
my
while. Can
money
you feel
up?
like I'm just tired? Like it's just I'm.
Dude, you're killing me.
Can you feel the
said
world
help the
weariness? Like
channel,
you
so
hear it
I
in my
am.
voice.
When did I say help the
more
channel?
qualified,
What?
more experienced people chasing that
I
wage and
appreciate you
displacing
helping
them
the
because
channel.
obviously you'd rather substitute if you have to pay somebody $60,000
You're
a year
already
for this
doing that,
position,
dude. I don't-
somebody who has more experience and is more qualified versus
I
the
don't.
less
I don't
qualified
think me
counterparts
starting
over
a
here. So a lot of these
separate
people don't
channel
realize
would
that they're
really
Streamer, are
help
you a
this
landowner?
channel, though.
Yes. Yes, I am.
their own personal
You
career
wanted to
death
be on
warrant,
Kick and
but
you
we're
left
just
so
supposed to say,
quickly?
oh, no big deal. Hotel companies are
'cause
really
it
big.
sucks.
People always 100%
It's
want to
a
come to Los
garbage
Angeles.
platform.
Nothing will deter.
Look, I didn't know I couldn't download my own fucking VODs. And I didn't know my stream key would change randomly sometimes in the middle of my stream, and it cuts my stream off and also doesn't alert me that it happened. So I didn't even, like 3 different times my stream went down, went offline because the fucking stream key changed. And I think one of those times I kept going. I kept playing a game I was playing for like 2 hours and I wasn't even streaming. Pissed me off. Either be a gay man and attract the daddies or be a conservative. Alright, okay, man. Alright.
Deter them like
You want to know how I got a
really
house?
wanna do
You want
that.
to know you want to know the story?
Alright, are you telling me that people are
Basically,
only going to watch me
I was
if
working
they
for a
are
company,
sexually
and, like,
attracted
game
to
was doing
me?
pretty well. And so what happened was,
Why?
I was given
Question mark?
stocks
Because
for the game company.
I
They
don't
gave me-
want
they gave me
people to
stocks,
watch
right?
me because
And
I'm
I didn't
hot.
sell it.
I mean, I am
I basically
hot.
said I'm just gonna
but
hold on, I'm gonna invest in this.
That's not
And then
why
when
I
my
want
boss was
people
like,
to
"Hey, do you want to
watch me.
raise?" I said, "No, give me more stocks." So I held on to the
Perhaps.
stocks. I just kept holding on to them.
Perhaps.
And everybody else, so there's opportunities to sell stocks. Everyone else sold them to buy like sports cars and shit. I kept holding. I just held on to it. I just held on to it. I just did my job. Just kept working. Like lived within my means. Lived within my means. Held on to the stock. Just like left it there. And then, everybody was selling it to buy random shit that they wanted. I didn't do any of that. I literally just ate what I normally ate, and then I ate what I normally ate and stuff, and then I just kept going. Eventually, they're like, "It's the end of the line. Like you gotta sell the stocks now because the company's being bought out." And I said, "Okay." And I sold it. I bought
Do
a
you
house.
really think those women doing ASMR are just doing it because they love their soft voice? No, I mean, I don't know. I think that they're doing it because they enjoy making the content, yeah. And also because they make money off of it. On the other hand, I enjoy making the content that I make. And it's because I like everything that I say. I actually think and I enjoy putting my my opinions out there on the internet. So yeah, that's why I do it. I don't do it for money. I'm not doing this for money, man. No, because they attract degenerates. Okay, then, so why not make money being a fake conservative? Because I just told you, because it's not about the money to me. You're telling me if you could make $60K a year from that, you'd say no? Yeah, I would say no, yeah. Well, a VTuber, I wouldn't have to put my face on it. I don't know. No, I don't. I still don't think I'd do it, no. Yeah, I said well because, I don't know. But my thinking was... Okay, alright, it's too late.
What happened?
Okay, man.
Yup.
I'm gonna
That's
keep
it.
reacting to this.
Trust us, everything will.
Please forgive her for the game she unleashed on the world. Come on, it's not that bad. At least it
I'm
wasn't
gonna
that bad
speed it up
before. I
some
don't know
more.
how it is now. I haven't played it in years. It's not that bad. Like, it was a good game back then. It was a really good game. What game did I make? League of Legends. It was a good game back in the day. Come on, guys. It was a good game back in the day. Apologize to God for that game. It wasn't even that bad back in the day, man. It was not bad. It was not that bad back in the day.
Yeah, it was.
Come on.
Be totally fine.
The new minimum wage will apply to hotels with more than 60 rooms and private companies.
I know
LAS,
she's
including
joking,
airlines
but
and-
You're
League was
indirectly
always
responsible
like
for
that.
holes in my wall.
We gotta find you a
Oh,
character and be a
come
black
on.
conservative.
Don't forget-
That's crazy.
I didn't do
crazy.
nothing.
We
It
are
was a
not a
good game.
monolith.
Now, like they said, it applies to hotels with over 60 rooms.
We
which
are
only
not a
plan on
monolith.
building a hotel in the city
The
of Los
Democrats
Angeles.
think they
59
have
is 100%
all
your
the
cap
black
going forward,
peoples.
Because if you can only do 74 rooms, why would you deal with the extra
Who
cost?
was the one that performed Darius' ult? Like, you mean the one who made Darius' ult? I don't remember who
They
made
do
Darius.
not have all the
Might
black
been-
peoples.
Might have been Kornak. Did Kornak make Darius? I think he did. Maybe. Could have been Volty.
What if the person
It's either
isn't
Volty-
actually
either Volty or
conservative?
Kornak. Made.
What if this person is just doing this for money and actually doesn't believe any of this? I don't care. I don't care. She's still saying it. Yup.
Made
It
Darius.
changes
I don't remember.
nothing
It was a long
to
time
me.
ago now. I don't remember shit anymore, dude. Like, I don't remember anything.
I suspect that a lot of the people I watch probably aren't being 100% genuine all the time. Okay? They just aren't. Like, I don't think that they're, all just, speaking their truth, and that's it. I think they're doing it for money, okay? They're doing it because they get money from doing this. And they take the Republican position because it's what they're supposed to do.
We don't care if you're white, we don't care if you're black, we don't care if you're gay, we're all under attack. We don't care if you're rich, we don't care if you're poor, we just know what we're fighting for. Sing it. Real women vote for Trump. We don't need no liberal chump. Yeah, real women vote for Trump. Oh yeah. Real women vote for Trump. We don't need no liberal chump. Yeah, real women vote for Trump. We don't care if you're girls. We don't care if you're dudes. We don't care if you're both. That's up to you. We don't care if you're men's or women's soccer teams. We're America, just living the dream. Sing it. Real women vote for Trump. We don't need no liberal chump. Yeah, real women vote for Trump. Heck yeah. Real women vote for Trump. We don't need no liberal chump. Yeah, real women
Don't need no liberal
vote
chump,
for Trump.
says Donut.
We don't care if you're Eastwood. Don't care if you're Leo.
They printed out.
Just grab a Corona with me, amigas. Why? 'Cause real women vote for Trump. We don't need no liberal chump. Yeah, real women vote for Trump. Heck yeah. Real women vote for Trump. We don't need no liberal chump. Yeah, real women vote for Trump.
That was really gross. And I do have something to say about this, and that is, if I saw these people walking down the street, I would cross. I would cross. And I do. And I do. Yeah, I don't know where the fuck you found that. I've never seen that before. How many views does this have?
Where the
What the fuck is this? It's goddamn. Oh, this is why they lost. Crazy. Oh, god damn. Just grab a Corona. That didn't age well. Well,
for each and every employee based on that.
I hate to
And of course,
admit
it
how
also
catchy the song is. It wasn't. It's not catchy. My bad. My bad. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just saying that because I'm a woke tard. Yeah. Okay, liberal. Okay,
watch
liberal.
Private sector employees at
I'm gonna be real with you guys. Like, when it comes to stuff, I'm just I spend my money on like the company being better, like adding more.
Yeah,
products.
I think that conservatives generally cannot make good music. I don't know why they are so averse to making good music. That being said, I can think of one example of that is an exception to that rule. And I vote yo. Yeah.
That's kind of like just fucked up. No, it wasn't.
Oh my god, I vote yo. Oh my god, yeah.
I will vote for Donald Trump. Oh my
I like the dance of Trump. I like that.
I will vote
For Donald Trump.
The people go out to vote, no fear,
Yeah.
no more. Vote for Trump. Let's go.
Yeah, this is real music. This is real fucking music, dude. This is that real hip hop. It's that real rap.
My vote for Trump.
God, I will vote
I will vote. Oh yeah.
for Donald Trump.
Oh my God, I will vote. I will vote
For Donald Trump.
I don't believe in fake news. All I need is the truth. Because
I could all use Hispanics for a song, yet want to deport them. I mean, they made this song. The band that made this song, they made it because they wanted to. I mean, Hispanics for Trump, dude. It's ironic. It'd be very ironic when Hispanics be supporting Trump. This song is a banger, though. I've heard it so many times. They made this asinine song to attract views because people will love anything. I think it's a good song. I don't agree with the message, of course, but it is not a banger. You're a liar. You're a liar. This is a certified hood classic. My God, I will vote. I will vote for Donald Trump. Yeah, I do not like this type of music. LOL. Well, maybe you need to expand your horizons a little bit.
I will vote for Donald Trump. I love my
Freedoms. For Donald Trump.
Everybody to the right. I already chose my side.
I will vote
For Donald Trump.
Let's go. Land of the free, home of the brave. I will vote for Donald Trump. I will vote
Well, it's 18 plus
for
20,
Donald
bro.
Trump.
Bam, bam, bam.
I will vote
For Donald Trump.
Oh my God, I will vote. I will vote
Yeah.
for Donald Trump. Oh my God,
We love to see people dancing. I think it all let me add a black person and a large ass white
for
group.
Donald Trump.
Yeah. Obama.
There's a spanner in the works, you know. You gotta step up your game to make it to the top. So go. Got a little competition now. You're gonna find out how to cope with living on your own.
I'm Barack Obama, and I party.
Let's make this happen, go. We're
Was
gonna
this
show the world how to make it
Children's Hospital bombing? Yeah. It's before he bombed the hospital.
Let's get this started, go. We're moving up, we're moving up. It's been a lot to change.
I just like to remind people of that.
We'll always get what you want.
He's wearing a tan suit.
There's a spanner in the works, you know. You gotta step up your game to make it to the top. So go.
Yeah, and I'm not pro Obama. Actually, fuck him too.
Competition, no, you're gonna
Yeah.
find out how to cope with living on your own.
I've been saying this for years. They're all the same. All presidents. They're all war criminals. Or at least the past the last 8 of them have been war criminals. Black people still love him.
Just one thing then another, you know.
That's not fucking true.
It took a little time to make a little better. It's only going up, just one thing then another, you know. Let's make this happen, girl. We're gonna show the world it's
lowest IQ. First of all, I have several opinions about this, and first and foremost, I want to preface it with IQ is not an adequate measurement of someone's intelligence. It's not. IQ does not determine somebody's intelligence, okay? It just doesn't, because it has nothing to do with someone's intelligence. It's just not a, like, researchers, scientists have been saying this for many years. This is like, you know, like IQ used to be used, and it was considered to be a metric for somebody's intelligence. And they don't think that anymore. So why do white people say we do? What white people? What? Huh? Why do white people say we do? You mean like racist? Yeah, okay, my bad. Yeah. I think that white people, and of course racist people as well, but, you know, generally white people take for granted the institutions that exist. So like black people are obviously disadvantaged. You have worse outcomes in school because schools are poorer, okay? Like black people do not hold assets like white people do. You know, they don't have as many assets as white people. And because schools are funded by property taxes, the school's funding is tied to the value of the properties in the area. So because black people have lower property value, their schools are underfunded, which of course results in poorer outcomes for the students there. And they say we're not smart and that Asians are at number one. Asians are, yeah, that is a concept called model minority. Asians are considered like the smart model minority. Okay, that's it. And that is also a harmful stereotype, man. Like, I know it may like seem positive to like, you know, oh, like your race is associated with like being intelligent, but that's also bad. That's like bad for that is harmful for Asian people. But anyway. Yeah, I mean, basically what I'm saying is, like, white people look around them, they observe, and they see that, like, black people be uneducated lots of times. Black people be in poor circumstances. And they take for granted that it is the material reality of their conditions that is like causing these outcomes. Instead, they fill that gap with something else, like, oh, it must be because they're lazy or they're low IQ or something. They're like dumber than white people. So we're not at the bottom totem. Thanks, buddy. Don't demean me like that. Don't. The hell, buddy?
Like
we're
really
buddying each other now. Okay,
well.
buddy.
I want Yep, that's it.
Meaning that the people at the local McDonald's, if they're working at an airport, will
Back
be
to
paid
this.
$30 an hour. When in reality, they probably won't be. In reality, what will actually happen is they will replace more of these employees with kiosks or fast food
Exactly.
companies or whatever.
That's what I said. They're just gonna add those kiosks because it's free. Why have a cashier when you have a fucking robot? This is literally like the most easy robot to make.
Company will just leave the airport, making
I
it
don't
essentially a
think
ghost
that
town.
I don't
because-
think we're the dumbest, but society made us think that. Yeah, well, I see what you're saying. Yeah, and I 100% agree with that, but like I kind of took a more long-winded explanation for it. But yeah, I mean that's basically what I think as well. I thought that you were like I thought that you were saying that I was saying that like black people are not at the bottom totem, and that you were being a little sardonic with me. Yeah. I don't think that black people are like at the bottom of the totem pole of the hierarchy. Okay, like they are on average. But there are always amazing stories of like black people getting lucky and working hard to escape their circumstances. But like society is set up to disadvantage black people. I will say black people from other countries versus black Americans are different. Yeah, of course. Of course. First of all, intergenerational trauma. Okay, black people in America are primarily the descendants of enslaved people. They seem to have a higher IQ. Yeah, I mean black people from other countries are from countries where they take care of their citizens. Okay, even though they're black, because everybody's black. Because there aren't fucking racist institutions would be the more correct term, or the more correct descript. The education in Texas is pretty abysmal. Yeah, public education is. I think that it wasn't always like that, man. It really wasn't. It wasn't always this bad. Like, public education, unironically, used to be a lot better and provided much better outcomes for not only black people, but everybody. Okay, but then Reagan happened. Okay, then fucking Ronald Reagan gutted our Department of Education. Okay, he cut funding to schools. He cut programs for schools. That's what happened. All because he wanted to make his friends richer. He wanted to incentivize private schooling. I wish I had an IRL friend like you. Well, I wish I had an IRL friend like you. I wish I had any IRL friends. I really don't.
It's not really like that.
Really
It's more like,
for
when I
real.
mean invest in Angel Sword, I mean like invest in more projects. So like for instance, like we're getting a new VTuber soon, and like kind of getting the game up and running. Like, dude, the game has been really successful. The tabletop game is doing like
so
really well. It's exceeded my expectations. So like that's good. And then like the stream has exceeded my expectations. YouTube has exceeded my expectations. Kick has exceeded my expectations. Like just all good. And then like whenever I get like more money from that, I just take the same amount of money that I've been taking like the entire time, and then I just basically throw it forward into like some new project basically. And hopefully like one day like Angel Sword, like the end goal, guys, is like if I could get like an anime, then I did it. I beat the game. That's like the URA finale right there. So if I can get that.
Once we meet at TwitchCon, thanks, gotta be our
You're probably
thank you
gonna
for
open One Piece packs
understanding.
now.
Continue your video.
Okay,
Bye.
first off, it's
Back
content,
in the
Julio. First
jiffy.
off, it's content. Second off, I like One Piece. Third off, is like, I like One Piece.
Employees, if you just want to oppose a restaurant in an airport.
Several council members opposed the ordinance, as does
I like
the
One
Tourism
Piece. It's
Convention Board.
okay.
The board that an Oxford
It is
University
kind of
study
lame,
shows the
but
wage increases will
But see, the
have
other thing too, though, is there's another thing. The
It's
other
just
thing,
so
I want to do it
long.
myself. Like, I want to do like
It's
the
so
anime
boring.
myself. Like, I don't want like some company to like come over and like pay me for it. I want to do it myself. Basically, I don't want to like sell the company or anything like that. Like, I want to go like all the way with it, you know? Like a retard.
Devastating impacts on an already fragile business hit hard by the wildfires and by national politics, which is souring international tourism.
A $30 an hour wage would result on an annual basis in the loss of $2.3 billion in local business sales, $55 million in local tax revenues, and most unfortunately, the loss of almost 15,000 jobs.
Now look, that's an estimate from...
Considering that the way D&D went and Roller Coaster in general, Angel Sword would have a shot, especially right now. The only problem is Angel Sword's kind of hard. It's a little bit, what's the word? It's a little...
They always do this. They always do this before they raise the minimum wage. They're always like, "Oh my God, it's gonna kill everyone. Everyone's gonna die. Everybody's gonna lose their job," and it never fucking happens. Mysteriously, after minimum wage is raised, mysteriously they keep the same employees. They start paying them more. Crazy. It's crazy. I wonder why that happens.
You have to like kind of...
I wonder why they keep saying
You need to be
that.
smart about your actions.
Oxford
when they're
University,
trying to raise
obviously,
the
it's being
minimum
put forward
wage.
by a
I
lobbying
wonder.
group, but you
I
guys
don't
need to
know.
understand that the people out here advocating for the $30 minimum wage are a lobbying group just on the other side of the issue. And again, this was from a couple of weeks ago when they decided to pass this ordinance. You'll never guess that after they pass this ordinance, we're already starting to see the consequences of this, which we will cover in just a little bit. But let us wrap up this particular segment, where of course a local city council person who knows way more about the hotel industry than the people who run the hotel industry is going to address these claims.
Council members rejected several attempted changes to the ordinance, making clear the higher wages are intended to send this message.
When we talk about who deserves a living wage and enforcement, it's everybody within the boundaries of that workplace.
So that's Hugo Soto Martinez, the LA City council member that was really pushing this particular wage increase, and I want you guys to remember his name and remember his face, because just a couple of weeks
I just realized the skeleton in the background. It's like so fitting.
later, when it turned out that large hotel groups were canceling expansion projects, this guy had something completely different to say about the negative consequences that he didn't predict would happen, and how Los Angeles actually was smart enough to take measures in order to address the negative consequences that, again, he was telling everybody weren't going to happen.
Michael Collins spoke with the president and CEO of Sunville Properties, and one of their properties hotels is the Hilton
Thank you for
at
listening,
Universal
Illegal.
Studios.
Thank you.
And for 8 years now, they've been planning to build another hotel right next door, but now they're not moving forward with that project.
Yeah, of course not. Why would you?
To lose more hotels too.
I want you guys.
Yo, why would you build another hotel when they're increasing the rates to $30? Dude, can you imagine that? Like, you get $30 for like a bare minimum of whatever, including like you know, you going on breaks and stuff, right? Man, that's crazy.
So just think about what was told to you, the consequences of this minimum wage increase as outlined by this representative of this particular hotel. They spent 8 years going through all the hoops of the California and Los Angeles regulatory system in order to get approval for this hotel that was going to have like 300 and something rooms. It was going to be 18 floors. And now, after all of that work, after all that time, energy, and money that they put into that, suddenly it's on hold. It's on hold specifically pending a challenge that they're trying to mount against this wage increase, because now the math ain't mathing. The numbers are not working out at all whatsoever. And their whole plan to capture more market by increasing their supply of hotel rooms, they realize it's just no longer viable. So this is the consequence of that, and all the jobs that
It's basically a lot of like stupid unintended consequences that like you would understand if you thought about it for more than 30 seconds.
that would have been present in that location aren't going to exist anymore, all because of this ridiculously stupid wage increase that, again, is at absurd proportions. If you're going to tell me that somebody
So
making
the problem is, like, I think like there's videos like this and like you would understand it, but like, dude, I bet you a lot of people can't even understand this.
$59,000 a year is actually being cruelly exploited by their company, by their hotel, that's ridiculous. That's absurd. But that is the position
I'm like so doomer now, man.
that the Los Angeles City Council ultimately ended up taking.
Our industry's been targeted, but it's not the wage that has Davis upset. We're already paying most these rates already to most of our staff. It's other items like the required healthcare payment that will cost companies.
Most people don't even consider this. Yeah, basically, Trumpet's rule says I don't understand. So basically, like if you're gonna do a thing, so it sounds nice, right? Like you have minimum wage is $20, and you're like, we're gonna increase it to $30 because then everyone gets paid more, right? And like it sounds like on paper that sounds really nice. Like, oh yeah, I want people to get paid more, but it doesn't really answer all the other questions of where are you gonna get that from? Like where does that money come from? How does this affect the businesses? It's like saying that people deserve more money. I would like it if people made more money. So let's make it the law to pay people more money. It's like not, it's the guys, oh my God, I just realized it's the same logic from Twisted where the princess goes, everyone should just be a princess. It would solve everyone's problems. It's literally the same logic, actually.
$65 per hour. He says the ordinance will hurt the hotel business. What are your colleagues in the hotel industry saying? They're saying they're going to have to, some of them actually close. So it's not specifically some of the smaller properties.
So this is one of the things that I find interesting about this particular hotel, and that is that they're already paying most of their staff, according to their president, the $30 an hour in order to work there. What actually is really getting under their skin is the extra additional healthcare benefits requirement that will add an additional cost of $7.65. And again, like we heard in the previous video, this is following up consequences of reduced tourism to the city of Los Angeles and other consequences that have resulted from recent wildfires and other controversies that are going on in the city. So yeah, a lot of people are not going to build hotels.
Yeah, everything sucks. Everything sucks. Blame the businesses instead of the politicians. Don't even look at them.
In the city of Los Angeles proper, they're going to try to avoid it. And honestly, the city 100% deserves it. And the ultimate consequence of these hotels either closing or relocating is that the city will lose much more in tax revenue than they thought they would gain by, of course, taxing the incomes of the very same people that they're supposedly raising the wages for.
But city leaders like Councilmember Hugo Soto Martinez say the new wage and healthcare benefit is needed.
When we look around the city of Los Angeles, rents are skyrocketing. People do not have health insurance to take their kids for even the most simple illnesses. As a city, we have to look at that and say we have to.
Earlier, while I was gone, Leaflit said, just a second ago, she said, where's the money gonna come from? Where's the money gonna come from? The profit, dumbass. The fucking profit of the company. That's where it's gonna come from. When you increase the minimum wage, the company has to pay the employee more money. Where did they get the money from? From the fucking profit. From the excess revenue, dumbass. What the fuck are you talking about? Where are they gonna get the money from?
So here we have
Where are
the
they
same
gonna get the money
member
from?
that said it
Just
was no
shut
big
the
deal
fuck
before,
up,
and now
dude.
he gives you a litany of reasons of why they need this wage
You're
increase
so
and the additional
fucking
healthcare
dumb.
benefits. And one of them is that rents are skyrocketing in the city of Los Angeles. And need I remind you guys that the city of Los Angeles, which he is a city council member of, issues a ridiculously low amount of permits, especially when you compare it to the price of housing in Los Angeles, and of course has a ton of environmental and other ridiculous regulatory burdens that they place on builders. In fact, recently, Gavin Newsom of all people.
This is so true, by the way. If you've ever lived in California, you know how long it takes for like a new building to come up. They'll be like, oh yeah, opening soon. Like we're gonna open this new like store or something like that. It takes fucking forever. In like Texas, sometimes they'll be like, new store opening soon, and then like I'll just drive by like 2 months later and it's there already. It's already open. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, it takes forever to get anything built.
Restrictions from a notoriously bad piece of legislation called CEQA, and hopefully that will lead to building going forward. But of course, Los Angeles has their own local ordinances.
Yeah, look, zoning laws in a place like Los Angeles are going to oh my god, dude, you are going to have to go through more regulatory agencies in a place like Los Angeles than you would Texas. That's not weird. That's normal. Now, if you want to say there's too much of that, there's too much zoning and regulation, which, by the way, I didn't even mention this. She's talking about something completely different than what he was talking about. Like, what happened was the guy mentioned something. He mentioned, eco regulations, environmental regulations, and she brought up like zoning regulations for some reason, like building permits, which is not anywhere near the same thing. Two very different things. Okay, but once again, Leaflit failing to work her brain. But anyway, of course it takes longer to build a building in fucking Los Angeles than in Texas, dumbass. That's not like weird or wrong. It's just because it is a densely urban area, like unlike Texas, unlike anywhere in fucking Texas. And yeah, there is a lot of red tape, and they probably could make it better. That's actually something that Mr. Mamdani has talked about up in New York City. To make it easier for small businesses to open their doors, to get started, to hit the ground running. Okay, he wants to get them to open their doors faster. Okay, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. But, the reason it takes so long in New York is because I believe if what Mamdani said is true, there are like seven different regulatory agencies that you have to go through. And, I think that is a bit much. I think that is a bit too much for a business to simply open its doors. 7 regulatory agencies where you have to like file paperwork for all 7 of them. Yeah, it's way too much. But anyway, that you want to do that? Okay, yeah, that elect a Democratic Socialist. Elect a Democratic Socialist. They want to do shit like that. They want to help small businesses. They do. It's the Democratic Socialist, it is the Socialist, and it is the Communist that in this country is actually favorable to the smaller capitalists, to the smaller bourgeois class. Now that is just because of the society that we live in. Obviously, communists want the dissolution of private property, and socialists want more equitable conditions for workers specifically. But within our society, communists in this society are working within the system. Okay, they are going to do policies that are better for smaller business owners. That's
that are just as bad
just
and
the
compound
reality.
on all the problems
Okay,
of
so
CEQA.
so
And
be a
yes, I just gave
socialist.
Gavin Newsom a little
Yeah, and the thing is the California does have its own issues, but a lot of them are also local, right? So basically what he's saying is like California itself has bad laws, but there's also local laws that compound on top of that. And Los Angeles and San Francisco, for instance, those 2 places are even worse than the rest of California.
no credit for actually doing something decent, but the fact is, you increasing the wages of some employees artificially is not going to address the core behind the rent increases, which is, of course, that you have a supply problem. You need to build more housing, and I'm not talking about...
So exactly, it's the problem is that they have a problem, and they try to cure the symptom and not the cause. And you see this all the time in government, where they'll take the most obvious, people don't have any money. Okay, well, give them more money, right? They don't actually think about, what the actual disease is. They try to cure, the bad feelings of the disease, the symptoms. They never try to cure the actual disease. And the reason why is because they are the disease.
You're fucking stupid. You're fucking stupid. And I'll tell you why. Because that is the root cause, okay? The wage is the root cause. The symptoms are poverty. The symptoms are homelessness. And the symptoms are, people not being able to pay for groceries and gas and basic necessities. Those are the symptoms. Okay, the symptom isn't just people be not having enough money. Okay, the root cause here is the wage. It is, and that is, you can fix it by simply raising the wage. But our government hasn't done that in 16 years.
Mass government housing projects. I'm talking about just letting people build, letting them build apartment buildings, high density housing. Again, one of the most
if people are, Shai says, as always, if you're seeing problems and people are dissatisfied, follow the money. Yeah, I feel so bad for you, Shai. You're stuck there.
ridiculous restrictions that they have under CEQA.
You know what? At least your area is not as bad as it could be. It could be worse.
is that you
Maybe
have to do
downtown
an
LA.
environmental review that takes 2+ years.
Or
Then you
Oakland.
have to try to address all the things that you discover in this lengthy, expensive review. And then after
Follow
the
the
2+ year
golden
review
rule.
process, you can then be sued by basically anyone who can claim that they're impacted. And the level of impact that they can claim is that your apartment building being so tall can actually produce too much shade where they used to have sun, and that would negatively impact their mood. And I'm not kidding about this. Kirk Wilcox has a massive video on this, and guess what? The constrictions on housing supply in the city of Los Angeles have quite literally nothing
She's
to
gotta
do
be in
with the
South
minimum
Los
wage in
Angeles. She's gotta be
hotels
like
in that
south
particular
of Los
city. Again, I'll point out,
Angeles.
Austin, Houston, no zoning. Dallas also has relaxed zoning codes. They've seen an influx of people into their cities, and those cities, because they've allowed more and more building, have seen rents and home prices level off, or in the case of Austin, who recently deregulated their zoning code even more than the state, which, by the way,
Where I live in Texas, $160, brand new house. Brand new house, $160. No joke. Fiber internet, everything.
has a maximum cap on what you can do, then that ended up leading to rents falling, the average rent falling. I know some people are going to say in Austin, well, my rent went up this many years, but again, that's you as an
160K. 160,000.
individual, but statistically, rents in the city of Austin are now on the decline. So when I see this absolute fool, this absolute doofus say that he needs $30 minimum wage because rents are high, and he doesn't replicate any of the policies in the place that dropped rent, in all the places that dropped rent, because a lot of red states and red cities, and by the way, some blue cities.
Wait, who said that on Kick? Dude, my chat is so fucked up. Your dog on Kick says, no, Texas, we're full, can't hold anymore. It's like, Leaf, stop it, don't tell them. Don't tell them our secret.
These
Thanks
in
for
blue
following,
states have
Rexing, I think
actually
you.
reduced their zoning code and seen positive results. You realize that this man has nothing to offer. He's just an absolute idiot. $30 feels good to him, so he decided to pass that into law. And again, I want to emphasize, a full-time worker in a hotel making $57,000 a year is now a crime in the city of Los Angeles because $30 is the minimum.
You know, I certainly don't have that big of a concern about
The $160,000 houses, by the way, they're not super big, but they're about the size of like a condo in LA, like the size of a condo. But if you want like a full-size house, it's around 185, I think, 185 for like a full size.
Hotels closing because we have a hardship exemption in the law. So if we do have employers that say, you know, they can't sustain this, they can come to the city, we can go through the process, and they can be exempt completely from the law.
So again, this guy is an absolute fool. He's like, look, we actually have a hardship exemption in the law, which means if you are being crippled by this wage increase, if you can show based on our regulatory board and these arbitrary standards we created with this new process.
Okay. So their friends are immune. Got it. So their friends are immune to it. That's what it is. Because they hold the keys now, right? God. Follow the golden rule.
Then guess what? We will exempt you from
The twisted thing is so real. Oh my God.
Well, totally. But the thing is, obviously, this is a long and arduous process because they don't want people to just be able to claim this and be exempt. And again, it was written by the same idiots.
This is like the people that say like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I disagree with that policy. I don't think that you should be able to not pay your employees minimum wage just because, like, you can't afford to and you can, like, prove that you can't afford to. I don't know if that's the actual policy. Maybe this guy is misunderstanding. Maybe I misunderstood. I don't know, but I think that if that's the case, that's wrong. What they should do is they should just if a small business can prove that it can't pay its employees enough, like if it will actually drive them out of business, then they should be given subsidies. Subsidize them. Okay, California is the 4th largest economy on the fucking planet. On the planet. They can afford it. Okay, even though they're a donor state too. Okay, they should be able to provide for their constituents of their state.
We're gonna make this new law, but you know what? We're not gonna enforce it. We're not gonna enforce it. And then the instant you do something that like is against them politically, they fucking enforce it every single time.
That thought that, rent is going up, so let's artificially jack up the wages of certain people, and that will somehow make rent go down or not change rent, and that will be a solution. So obviously, if a company is going bust, the idea that they have the time to wade through a lengthy regulatory process to prove that they're going bust sufficient to Los Angeles standards, and that way they could pay people the actual wage that they're qualified for. No, it's absurd, it's ridiculous, and again, this is the same kind of logic that constantly
that they're qualified for. Yeah, bro. And what wage are you qualified for? Sitting in front of that fucking camera. You disgusting little fucking cretin. Look at you. You look like the grown-up version of the kid from the Polar Express. You gotta have your ticket. Your ticket. They're gonna kick you off the train. That's what you fucking look like, you piece of shit. They're qualified for. Like you're qualified to assess who is qualified for what wage. You fucking moron. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You should be living on the street, and they should be making what you're making. You do nothing. You provide nothing. You give no value to society. You're a leech.
California in this death spiral.
Davis said if it's overturned, they may still move forward with their new development.
Good thing I got out, man. Holy crap.
Until then, he said Sun Hill Properties will take their future business elsewhere. I've been directed by the shareholders to look for other locations for growth. Go to in LA. but it's not going to be in LA.
I mean, look, you couldn't make it more clear than he's made it right there, which is he is being directed by his shareholders to look for growth opportunities in other areas because Los Angeles ain't it. It could have been LA, but you know what? The LA City Council got too greedy.
Yeah, they always say that. They always say that, and then they never fucking leave. And then mysteriously, but, oh, they never fucking leave. I don't know. Yeah, man, I'm sure all the businesses are just gonna fucking sprint away from California. That's what they're gonna do.
They decided to go after
They're
this.
all
Again, the biggest beneficiary
Commerce
of this
Flight
happens to
is
be
not
Airbnb
a
and
real
similar
Capital
services
Flight
like
is
that.
not
So
a
for
real
somebody who bought a
thing.
rental
It's not a
property
real
during
thing.
the whole boom
Just
at
so
that
you
time,
know.
and you're starting to lose money because of the decline of interest in Airbnb.
They
congratulations,
always say
you're gonna
this.
get right
They
back on them
always
and
fucking
end up
say
shutting down,
this.
or their prices go up to the point where Airbnb
Yeah,
is competitive.
yeah, they're gonna
I feel like these
leave.
people only
Yeah.
have, like, one layer of thinking. I feel like they can only see literally like what's in front of them. They got like some kind of like a case of the baka or something. Like I don't know.
In addition to all of that, we also have a petition that
I'm
they're trying to get
going
something on the ballot, so
losing
that way
it.
they
I'm
can
They're
losing
playing
it. I'm going
they're playing
gaga.
chess, only thinking half a step ahead.
I'm going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
repeal this wage increase. Los Angeles and the state of California do everything through ballot initiative. It's one of the most asinine things that you could possibly imagine. So of course we have the representative.
The problem though is like, guys, okay, you know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it, and ooh, this is gonna make the blue sky people mad at me, guys. I think the founding fathers were right. I think they were right about voting and how voting should only be landowners. I think they're right. I think they're right. This is crazy because what happens then is you have whoever sounds the nicest. That's the person that gets voted for, even if they're the most retarded. It's like it's man, this is crazy. This is crazy.
Who's saying that there's no consequences, and we shielded the businesses from the consequences that don't exist.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that too, like voting exams or something like that.
I don't think that was a genuine take. That would be the dumbest fucking take of all time. That would be so fucking dumb. The idea that we should go back to only landowners voting. Fucking God, it's just gross. It's just gross when they say shit like that. Oh, I know this is gonna trigger all the libs. It's gonna trigger all the libs. Oh, they're all gonna get so triggered. Yeah, you're not triggering anyone, dude. You're just like embarrassing yourself. It's just like it's just like humiliation. I don't know. I don't know what else to call it.
I don't know. I'm sure there's some way to do it that I think we can maybe come to a compromise on. But like, I feel like we can't have it like this. Like, I feel like we can't. You know, like because you have a politician who's a fucking moron, and they got up there and like, yeah, I'm gonna give everyone free food and everything. You know, you deserve an orgy today, and everyone's like, it just happens like every time. Like, how many times does this have to happen? You know what I mean? Like, it happens every single time.
Yeah, and meanwhile, the Republican candidates are like, we are going to kill you. We are going to kill you. We love killing you. I'm gonna fucking stab you. I'm gonna stab you to death and your family. And the MAGA chuds are like, yeah, own the libs. We're owning the libs, dude.
This telling people not to sign the
They're
petition, not to
triggered.
get it on
They're
the
so
ballot initiative, but that's what
triggered.
California does. They put everything to a ballot
Yeah,
initiative
man.
vote. It ends up turning out disastrously, and yet they keep repeating. But again, I just want to point out that these are
You can use an orgy today. That was like an old game ad. There was an old video game ad that said, "You deserve an orgy today." Ad. It's so funny. It's an old video game ad. This is a real ad for War Tune. I remember this came out and like me and my friends were fucking cracking up at it. It was so funny.
obvious consequences. They were put forward to the city council before they passed this into law, and they did it anyway, based on again,
that
the
is a
idea
pretty
that
wild
the living
ad,
wage is never
I know.
it's never a living wage. They actually called this the Olympic wage, and you know what? That they kind of get what they deserve in this particular regard. We will monitor the ballot initiative.
So you know what
but
this
as of
reminds
right
me
now,
of?
expect
Oh my
a
god.
lot less.
Let me tell you what this reminds me of, okay, guys? Sorry, I know I paused like a ridiculous
He's
amount of
so
this video.
gross
Okay,
looking.
so
Look at his fucking profile picture, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god. The leather jacket. The like shitty like dark brown leather jacket. Oh, I'm like vomiting in my brain is vomiting right
when
now.
I was in elementary school, I remember there was a student council. They had like a student government.
Vomiting
right?
in
And
my
I remember,
mind.
like they did like votes, right? And they had speeches. And this is a true story. So like during the speeches, like we all paused 18 minutes. Yeah, but the story is relevant. The story is relevant. This is probably gonna be the video anyway. So I remember we we all got gathered up in front of like the like the auditorium or whatever, the quad, and they had speeches, like speeches where like the candidates would say a speech, right? And so this one candidate comes up and he had like a really nice speech. And he goes, guys, I believe that we all I don't remember exactly what the speech was. But it was like really well written. It was like and he ended it. He said like I think these are the problems. Like we can solve them, and like have like more of a voice. And then like he ended it by saying this. He said, I'm gonna end my speech today by saying, I would love to say vote for me, but I think you should vote for who you think is gonna do the best job. And whoever that is, that's who I would like you to vote for, right? And he had like a really good speech. He gets down. Next guy comes up. You want to know what he says? He goes up. He goes, "Hey, what's up, school? What's up, school? Everything that guy said, and vote for me." And that guy won. That guy won. And I remember thinking that day, like, holy shit. You know what I mean? I was like, what? Yeah, and he won. He won by a landslide. Yeah, it's crazy. This is democracy manifest.
Employees in hotels and a lot less hotel expansion in the city of Los
I don't
Angeles.
think
But you know
that
what?
is an
Those are just my thoughts. I
accurate.
want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you like the video, show 'em by leaving a like, subscribe for more content, follow me on the social media, support me via support links in the description of this video. This has been me talking about madness in Los Angeles. Till next.
It's always madness. It's
I was saying I don't think that is like an accurate microcosm of democracy. Also, generally you are just a dumb person.
It's always the madness
I don't
in Los
really
Angeles. I'll send you guys this video is by actual Justice Warrior. Actually, I kind of want to take a look like what kind of other stuff
Stories or
he's
what
got.
the fuck ever this
Ooh, can you
is.
live off of food stamps? Oh, these would be like really fun to watch these actually. Los Angeles defense homeless men.
Yeah, you know, actually, fuck Leaflit. Why am I not just watching this guy? He's the really gross one. Or what was he called? Actual Justice Warrior. Yeah, look at this guy. Subscribed. Boom.